Okay, so we're this is it.
This is it.
Okay.
All right.
Welcome back, everybody. It's FunnyButFoul, your host, Hector and Armand.
We've had many failures today. Many. And
We learned one thing.
Hector does not look good with no mustache. Motherfucker looks like Uncle Live's ugly brother.
Uncle Liev
Anki Liev.
missing the fucking Liev. It's just Unk.
Fruity Liev, bro.
Looking like Unk out here.
You're looking like a fruity Liev.
I don't know. I don't like what it does to my top lip definition.
I don't like what it does to your nose. It extends it like a Jew. Look at that. That's a Jew face, bro. You kidding me? You need less Jew. Listen, the reason your nose looked decent, and I didn't make fun of it for a few months, was because the mustache was getting thicker. So if you go side profile of me right here, the actual thickness was fading up.
I know what you're saying.
Right? But now this distance is crazy. This distance is crazy. It's a few feet.
Yeah.
And I said against it. I think the best look for you is like the fucking what we talked about.
Yeah, we talked about with
the 5 o'clock shadow,
the trim mustache, the thicker beard, I guess like goatee, and then the 5 o'clock shadow was another one. It's like one, dude. I'm not trying to get too fucked.
Yeah, you're not getting fucked up. You're not doing nothing, man. You're going home to your nice little fiance, and then fucking bada bing, bada boom. Hey, so quick question for you.
Yeah.
Like for the young kids out there, what's the rule? Is the guy supposed to get the guy's ring too, or how's that work?
I actually don't know.
How's it like?
I really don't. I actually don't know.
And you didn't look this up?
Nope.
You just don't care.
No, it's not that. It's that for the wedding bands, we'll be going to the same place that I got the engagement ring from. He's my boy, so we're gonna go together because we're gonna wanna. There's nothing to hide now. Like before, like I wasn't going with her because I was trying to surprise this on her, right? Like the whole.
How'd you find out her ring size?
It was a bit of sleuthing. I just kind of paid attention. Like one time she said her middle ring was like a 5, and so I was like, okay, well your ring finger is smaller than that, so let's go 4.5. So I took an educated guess.
Yeah.
It could have gone wrong. It could have been like I put on and it was actually too big is okay because they can resize down.
Too small
sucks because that's awkward when you like put it on the ring. All of a sudden it doesn't fit on the ring. Like that kind of ruins the moment.
Yeah.
So I was actually a bit nervous. I'm like, fuck, what if it's like too tight? But luckily, it was like perfect size. So,
do you know anybody that got proposed to as a dude?
Nope.
I know one guy.
I don't know any gay guys. Oh, you do?
No, it's not. It's not a gay guy. So I know this guy named CJ, right? And
yeah.
CJ's been with his girl for like. That's not really his name, but
yeah,
CJ's been with his girl
for like
it
wasn't.
For like a decade and a half, and basically, they were both like recovering addicts.
Okay.
In their mid-20s. And they're just like, nothing crazy. They're just coming back from blow. And they met each other at something like gospel, whatever. You know how cokeheads just become gospel worshipers?
Yeah, sure.
And then, what's it called? Like 5 years go by. They're like in their 30s. We were like probably in our mid-20s at this point. We're about 5 years younger than them. And one day after fucking gospel, this bitch pulled out the fucking kneecap off a sundress and pulled down and literally gave this guy a ring. Now, the reason this isn't important is not because my man's straight up better.
Yeah, fuck.
Okay. But the crazy thing is, have you ever gone to a jewelry store and you see like the men's rings with gems on it?
No.
So you ever seen like a nice male ring with diamonds?
Actually, okay, so yes, but not because it's in the store. Like one of my boys, the guy who made the ring for me.
Yeah.
His wedding band has like 1 or 2 diamonds in it.
Yeah.
So but it's not. It's what they call like embedded.
Yeah.
Right. It's not actually like on top.
Yeah,
exactly.
But this guy, he got like basically a Super Bowl ring for a wedding band.
Oh, so we're talking like a fucking like a
legit.
Yeah, like one of those.
Yeah. He showed up at like his birthday with the fucking thing on.
That's crazy.
All the boys wanted to try it on.
Yeah,
that's my thing.
That's
like,
pretty nuts.
I think, since we're trying to do all this, things for the woman and be liberal and loving, maybe we should get a fucking fat ass ring. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want a fat ass ring because like I actually want to be able to wear that without worrying about where I am and who I'm wearing it around.
I think that's more of an issue of your security for yourself.
No, it's a personal taste. I don't like big.
You
rings.
Don't feel safe like going somewhere like with a fat ring? Like what?
There's certain places, dude, that like I've been to, not here, but like when I travel, that's retarded. Like you're asking for it.
Yeah, you just put a fucking silver ring on there, like, and then just for you travel.
No, I know, but I also don't like big rings. So like it's not appealing to me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my hands aren't that fucking big, so what the fuck am I doing with some fucking big ass fucking
That's
ring?
what I got.
And plus, I've never been too much into like jewelry. Like not like that. Like it's just not for me. There are guys that like it and then they whatever. Like fair enough.
Yeah.
My preference would be, nice, elegant wedding band, and fucking give me a nice watch. You know what I'm saying? Give me,
you want like a Rolly?
Like hook up. It doesn't need to be a Rolly because I feel like that's just so overplayed. Anyone that hears about watches like, oh, Rolex, it's like, no, there are other nice watches out there.
Yeah, but I think fair enough.
So what I'm saying is nice watch, wedding band. I will be a happy dude.
Like a aqua dial presidential.
Something. I am a watch guy, so there's many watches that I like. It's
top
not just
3 watches you would want to take right now.
Speedmaster. She's already has. I've already laid this out. Speedmaster.
Yep.
There's a couple of Hamilton watches that I really like.
Which dial size Speedmaster do you like? 36.
What the fuck? They don't make 36s for men. 38's the smallest they go, and even that is like not really popular. It's starting to come back now, but 40 is about.
40 is a nice size.
So 40. Because the thing is, with the watch, 40 only speaks to the case, like the face.
Yeah, but not the thickness.
If you got a really thick watch, technically it's more than 40.
Well, yeah, of course. But it's really the face that makes the visual look. It's not really the bevels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think 40 is nice. I've
40
tried. I think on me, 46 it kind of looks big.
46 is just a big watch. Watches never used to be that big. That's the thing.
It just kind of looks odd.
If you look at watches from like the 70s and 80s, all those watches, they're small faces. Yeah. 36, 38. 38 was big back then.
38 was big. That's why I said 36 because I don't know.
They just don't make them like that.
What kind of money poor Sabrina has to throw around for the Seabass?
Hey,
Jesus Christ.
I'm not specifying.
I don't make the rules.
Any amounts here,
I just follow them.
I've mentioned a few different watches that I'd be very happy with, and
what are the lower end
good.
watches that you'd be happy with?
The Hamilton watches.
The Hamilton watch? Yeah. What is that kind of?
That's a G.
A G?
You're looking at a G.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very durable.
Hamilton plays anywhere from G to 5 Gs. So that's their range. Like very, very few to the watches around 5. Most of them are like within the 1 to like 2. Yeah. That's like 80% of their watches on Hamilton. They'll go for about that.
Okay.
And then next step would be like Omega and TAG Heuer and all those. Like now you're talking like mid.
Okay. But you want like an Omega watch?
Omega watch? Yeah.
Omega.
Yeah. Omega
TV.
Yeah, a Speedmaster would be beautiful. That'd be that watch that you've seen me wear a lot that my parents got me. Yeah. That's imitation Speedmaster from Casio.
I know. Yeah.
All they did is they took those 3 the chronographs and they just rotated it.
Seiko does that too.
Yeah, because it's a patent. Like you can't copy it the exact design. But it's a really nice Speedmaster dupe.
But I'll tell you this, it's almost like, unless in my eyes you're getting an AP or something like that, you almost don't really have to worry about people jacking your watch anymore. You know what I mean? Because there's so many fakes right now.
Yeah.
Like one of my buddies, he got his watch stolen.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, 1 second. This is.
Take it.
Yeah. There's like.
Your father's looking for you.
Yeah, no, literally.
There's a search engine right now.
All she said was that because like my parents don't generally. My dad would never like just call Sabrina.
The police.
It's usually my mom that like reaches out to her, so it'd be like weird.
You ever get lost as a kid?
Lost? I think I remember once or twice I got lost, but it wasn't like a real loss. It was like big supermarket kind of thing, and like all of a sudden your parents give you like free to like roam around, and the next thing you know you're like, wait. Which aisle they had? And you're like, oh, it's not 2. Oh fuck! And then like a little bit of panic, but then whatever. So, but it wasn't real. Like I didn't have to get called. I might have. They might have. I think once in Superstore, my parents had to actually go to security. So then they like, Hector, your parents were looking for you. Please come to the customer service. And I was like, oh fuck! So I went, dude, but I didn't actually get lost.
Grade 6, I got lost.
Oh fuck!
We're at the aquarium. I'm like new to Canada.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. Fuck. I had like $20 in my pocket. I just fucking. I kept asking like bus drivers. I'm like, I'm trying to go to this address.
Yeah.
And they would like look, and like what? This was so long ago that they used to take and open the pamphlets that they had and be like, you want to go here?
Jesus.
And you got to take this bus, walk this long. So I had a pencil, and I like wrote it down.
Literally, just like on the piece of paper, you're like,
It took me like 2.5 hours to get from the aquarium to where we were living at.
Okay.
And I was like, holy fuck, never again. And one time, I was 4.5. My cousins were over, so a bunch of people over, and me and my cousin were like, we're gonna go play down the street. We ended up walking like 10K
down the street.
10K to the bazaar.
Okay.
We go to the bazaar. We have a bunch of money on us because like anytime there's the big weddings or something like that, there's always
money
like
gets thrown around.
big get together.
Yeah,
and like each of us are carrying the equivalent of like $300 in our pocket.
It's a lot at that age.
At that age is insane,
dude. That's literally like. Do you remember back when you didn't know what big money was? Like when $100 was like a lot. You're like, oh fuck, I got $100.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, do you remember that time? That was cool because. You got like $5 and you're like, oh damn, like we can buy some shit because you didn't know how much shit costed. You didn't know that the TV that your parents bought for you actually costs like however many hours of work because you didn't understand the concept of work. So like that was a cool time. I remember like when I would see like multiple bills together, I'd be like, oh, damn. It's crazy. Yeah. And when I got to hold it, I was like, damn, I can do so much with this $20.
Oh, that's not even that much. Like I remember some dope in high school, and like I think it was Vic, and he was just like, yo, bring some money to work. And it was school. I brought like 10 grand or something. He's like, I never seen Vincent out. I never seen that much money. I'm like 17. I'm like, bro, I've seen like hundreds at that point,
you've that's what I'm saying. Like
there's no glamour to it.
Exactly. But like before that, when you didn't understand the concept of money really, and then when you didn't have a visualization for how much, like back in those days, that was really cool.
It's fucking insane. Hey, gay son or thought daughter?
Jesus Christ, that's a good would you rather, or like would you rather? Yeah. Oh man.
Gay son or thought daughter, bro?
I'm gonna go with gay son.
What about you? What would your dad think? Because you could hide thought. You could figure out thought daughter. You can't figure out something that's not broken. It's a opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's my thought about it.
Well,
I'd rather have a thought daughter because regardless,
that's fucked, dude. I don't.
Regardless,
because
that
can get pretty fucked. Like, because you're already saying thought, right? So like that now it's like what thought? How like thought OnlyFans? Thought porn, like what is this thought?
Who was a whore in high school?
Is she keeping it to herself? No one knows about it. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's degrees to this. You can say the same for gay. It's like, okay,
well, he's out.
No, I know.
The worst
but
part
like,
of that, this is how I.
Is he on the floats at the parade, or is he just keeping to himself and just having his partner?
I don't think it matters. I think what it is
you personally fine, but if you're asking me what my dad, I know what would matter to him.
I think so, but I think a lot of what would matter in most people would be what is the trajectory of what this looks from the outside. Because if you have basically a reputation, you as Hector, you're a reasonable, logical guy. Generally, that's your reputation, right?
Okay,
fair. Which is great reputation to have. But nobody knows how logical you are. Nobody knows how reasonable you are.
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the consensus across.
Sure.
If you have 7 billion people, that's going to be a very wide idea of what it is. But everybody knows what a hoe is. And everybody knows what a gay guy is.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen hoes change their reputation. I've never seen gay guys become straight.
Gay guy won't become straight, but like this is clearly an issue for you much more than it is for me my family. No, because you just said would you rather. So I'm taking it on its own merits.
I know.
And like personally, I would pick that because personally, it's not that big of a deal to me.
Yeah.
Now, how much of a deal is it to my dad? I'll never actually know because he might tell me like he's cool with it. And all of a sudden, he's like, after I leave and he's like fucking punching the pillows or whatever, you know what I mean?
Punching the pillows.
Yeah, like just fucking just like whatever.
One of the pillows was little Timmy.
Yeah. Or maybe he tells me straight up and he's like, listen, I don't want to see him at the family dinners. Or maybe he doesn't give a shit and it's true. You know what I mean? Like, I never actually know.
Yeah.
So, given that I don't actually know, I can't really place too much weight on that.
Yeah.
I can only think about what it would make me feel. And I'm like, truly, between those two things, that's like the easier one. I'm like, it's like whatever, gay. Just be like a cool gay. Like, be like old school gay. don't be like flashing your dick at the parade's gay, because that's like another problem. Now you're like mentally unstable. I don't need to deal with that shit. Like,
I think
that's a problem.
The one gay version of that would be like if his wife or partner was like a banging tranny, and then you kind of just be like,
What?
all right, well.
It's worse.
No, it's almost the same.
No, it's not.
It's almost
that's
the
worse.
Same. He just found love in that kind of bisexual way.
Jesus, dude.
I think that's he's just a normal dude.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Because there's gays and there's gays, right?
Listen,
you'll
you
meet
see
gays.
it that way. Fair. If you want your potentially gay son to be dating some tranny because maybe it makes him seem like he's straight, but actually he's gay, but like, what? Is that fucking mental gymnastics?
Yeah,
cool.
dude.
That's not gonna fly with me, man. It's like,
no, man.
Just be.
The thing is.
Just be gay, because you can't control that. It's like, okay, you're born that way. Unfortunately, like, my sperm didn't do a good enough job, and now you're gay. Okay, fine, but you can control what you can control. And so if you're doing that,
you think you can control thought daughter though? I think that's probably more controllable.
The person, yeah, absolutely. That person can control being. That's what I'm saying. For me, that's worse, because you're choosing to make these choices that I don't agree with. But if you're gay, you're born. You can't control that. So like, okay. But what can you control? What kind of a person you are?
Yeah.
Right? And that's...
My approach would be like how to fix both.
How to fix... You can't...
And one you can't fix, and that's my point.
Okay, this
right?
Yeah,
do you get that?
You are of the opinion that it should be fixed. I do not share that opinion.
The only reason I'm of the opinion that it should be fixed is because I want... I want my bloodline to keep going as far as, my name on the bloodline. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can still get that. That's not...
You can, but it won't be yours.
It will be yours.
Oh yeah, with like 1,000 fucking... Do you know what I mean?
No, gay son has a child via surrogate. That's literally your bloodline. And that's the equivalent...
That's a lot of money.
That's whatever. That's on him. If he's got the money, fuck it, whatever. Yeah,
but he might not want to do that. But a natural couple would want to do that.
It's possible. You can do it.
Yeah, but it's such a reach.
It's not that big of a reach. It happens quite a bit, dude. It happens quite a lot.
I don't think all gay couples want kids.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
And even the ones that do, a lot of them adopt, and they get it right away because they're gay.
A majority of straight couples want kids.
That's also not true.
It's a natural progression.
Yeah, but that's also not true, because our birth rates have been declining for the last like fucking 30 years, and we've been trying to like pump them up again. But most people in North America are not, in this generation, are starting to noticeably decline.
Yeah.
Birth rate's easy to track. It's not some fucking like
I think it's an economic and it's a social.
It's a lot of things. But what I'm saying is like
well.
The whole idea that straight people want to have kids is just not true anymore. It's a generational thing more than anything.
This men thing that's going on in the last 20 years is probably firing that up as well.
Fire it up.
Well, this is the thing. We have a Korean neighbor, and she said that Korea didn't have issues with birth rates before feminism.
Yeah, I believe that's most. Yeah,
and that's the same thing that's going on here, and that's not too much of a reach to say. Like, once there's feminism, there's a certain sense of like.
Honestly, I think
what's best for a woman, and sometimes having kids is not the best for a woman.
I think,
and they want to have a career growth rather than having that.
Yep.
And that's fair, but again, if you're gonna implement that, you're gonna have this. And honestly, I think if you're looking at this in an elitist mentality, and I'm gonna go for a reach right here. You would want population control in this idea. So referring and creating something like feminism would be in the benefit of your wealth, because now you have a smaller populace. There's more control on the populace. There's more divide on the populace. There's more people talking about it. And initially, feminism is actually a good ideology. I think that to have a balance of respect and modernism still is good. But it also creates another trajectory of it, which is extremism. And extremism in all divides is bad. And that's how they're conquering us. It's not because there's all these divides and we think differently. It's that if we think differently, we come back and say, you're hell, you need to die, you need to leave because I think like this. And that's the extremist side that's destroying all of us in the way we think. I don't care that you're Catholic, but if you're just not extreme Catholic and I'm not an extreme atheist, we can get along.
Yeah.
That's the key.
I think that's not a terrible reach, but some of the holes one could poke in there would be, with the declining population, you have a declining workforce. And with the declining workforce, you'll have a less productive output. So as an elitist, to make the most money, it's actually not in your favor to do so.
Yes, but the divide and the control is.
Divide and control is great, but you're no longer, like, if you keep shrinking the population, you will not be elite.
But
like,
what do women have for a cause right now other than feminism? That was the one empowering thing that happened for them in the 70s and 60s and 50s and 40s was that women became in the workforce because of the World War II, and that implemented world round. And then when the men came back, they started with this feminism movement because the women had to go back into the kitchen, and a lot of them didn't want to. And this is a big phenomenon you can even read about that goes back to
I'm not
what
saying
that
it's not a phenomenon. That obviously these observations are true, but you're making the reach of like, okay, the elites below it, they had like the foresight 100 years ago to do this. I'm saying a hole that you could poke in that argument would be that, where it's like that's not really in their benefit to have a restricted population because you'll have a restricted workforce. So that's not really in your benefit. That's what I'm saying. Like that's something that you could like. That'd be like a counter to that.
Well, hold on. That's a small counter, and this is why. I'm gonna say this is why. Feminism caused a lot of women to go to the workforce initially, right? That amount is a multiplier compared to the amount of people that they're going to lose.
It's reverse, actually.
Low birth rates.
It's reverse.
You think so?
Because you can have one woman can have more than one kid, but one woman can only put out the work of one woman. So if you have 10,000 women that enter the workforce, that's great. You've now increased your work production by 10,000 people. But if you reduce the work rate or the birth rate, you're now by an exponential rate reducing your future workforce because
I understand, but
every woman could have multiple children. But not that they will.
I would imagine that the birth rates from the 70s to now where the women were going into work is still beneficial than the kids that were not born yet. And I think now that we're having this negative birth rate, now we're seeing the effects of those first 30, 40 years of feminism.
Yeah.
I think now it's, yes, you're right, but I think in the initial phases, it was a great idea. It was a great idea to have all these women that we could get majority of women, 50% of the population back into the workforce. I think initially it's good. And a lot of women, honestly, generally, they do care. And they still there's a lot of working moms, too, that want to have kids and want to do that, too. And a lot of fathers that, like, honestly, majority of people I work with, both spouses are working. Mm-hmm. Both have kids.
Yeah.
They all made it work. Like, everybody I know in this building that has kids, both spouses work. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just think that there wasn't that many kids that were lost because of the feminism. And I think right now, it's a lot of like, dude, I mean, you're doing it right now. Like, look at the prices you're fucking looking at for a fucking marriage, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, 20 years ago wasn't the case.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just like, it's just regular shit. The only benefit of now is like, you have lab grown diamonds. We can save some money. But other than that, like, these venues are crazy.
It's true. Yeah, it's only gotten worse. So
my buddy's doing one in Toronto. Last thing.
Yeah.
$46,000.
Fuck off.
For a fucking weekend.
Yeah, no.
Fucking unreal. Yeah. Just for the venue, like, and then you got the cater, blah blah blah. Like, what is that?
46 for the venue?
For the venue.
How long is he booking the venue for?
It's like a whole 4 or 5 days or something like that.
Oh, well,
don't quote me on that. Yeah,
but that's multiple days. Yeah, because like
because
bro, I got okay. You've been to Hawksworth restaurant, the
yeah.
That hotel, the Rosewood, which is a nice fucking hotel.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
They you can book it out for like $23,000 for a wedding
for one day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 46, that's heavy, man. That's like multiple days.
Yeah.
Or some crazy primo fucking experience.
Like Toronto, middle of nowhere.
Yeah, that's multiple days then for sure.
Yeah,
that's high.
Brown guy, you need multiple.
Brown guy, no, then that's multiple days.
And then the other thing is like, there's parts to that fucking wedding. It's not like just the one thing.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, there's parts. All right, you got any last words, dude?
Sure. Yo, I'm gonna put you on real quick. Oh.